Hello, my name is Cynthia and welcome to my Flosstube channel. I'm happy to be here with you this morning to talk about my stitching, things I've made, things I've crafted, and some plans ahead. It's Saturday, February 17th in the morning. My kids just left for Taekwondo, so I found some time. We've had a busy couple weeks. I wanted to film a couple days ago, but we've had sickness come through our house, both my husband and my son, who had to postpone his birthday party, sadly. He was very upset, but healed nicely so he could have his friends over last night. It's been a little bit wild around this house, so we're kind of getting a breather after all the craziness of having 4 little boys running around. But they had a really good time and Elijah's feeling good, so I'm happy. I had several things to share. I thought I just had a few and it would just take a little bit, but I have a bigger pile than I wanted, so, or not than I wanted, but than I realized. So let me go ahead and just dive right in and show you some previous finishes first. I had a punch needle to show last time, and I referenced this designer. I believe it's Perfect Prim punch needle. She says it twice on her patterns, but this was a favorite I did last year with a silhouette from Target. I don't have the price on it anymore. I haven't seen it in a while, but I just grab things when I see them on the Target bullet or whatever they call that spot now. It used to all be $1, but I think this was like $5. I just enlarged this pattern. It probably would only come about this high. And that's something that's so nice about punch needle is you can really make it more custom. I wouldn't go too big with it because it is such a thread hog, but I really like the way that this turned out on this silhouette, and it stays with my snowman collection. So I wanted to share that before winter is fully gone. And then the other previous finish is not actually mine, but I've had it here for a couple months and I keep meaning to show it. It's something that I really enjoy having. This was a pillow my grandma Helen made, probably for my brother, but he didn't want it, so I ended up with it because we both went to the same school. This is Bison Hill, where we went to school in Shawnee, Oklahoma at Oklahoma Baptist, and this was actually damaged terribly in a tornado year before last. I think it's been a year and a half now, maybe just a year, but my daughter is there now at school, and they are reconstructing Rayleigh Chapel, where we had a bell tower and lots of time spent in this building for concerts and for chapel every single week. So, and I had some music classes there as well when I took piano in college, but I just thought this was a really nice finish. My grandma was such a good seamstress. She did corduroy panels around it, and if you have an alma mater, I'm sure they have cross-stitch patterns up there. Campus, maybe not currently, but old ones that you can find online. I just thought that was really nice, and I try to keep my dog from jumping on it, but it's a little hard. I'm not sure I would do my pieces in a pillow form, not yet. That is just on Aida cloth, so it's pretty sturdy, and my grandma was, like I said, a very good stitcher, so none of those stitches are loose. But that was just one other thing. I had another finished piece that I'll show you later as a gift that was such a surprise to me, but I'll share that in the end when I show the haul. And the other finishes I made, I showed on Instagram yesterday. These were so fun. I've kind of kept you up to date on my angel from Chestnut Junction as she's come along, and inevitably I'll try to put a picture of what she looks like on the pattern. I make her so different than what the Chestnut Junction pattern looks like. Like, the hair is completely my own invention, and then I painted her a different color and I used different bits. This was supposed to be painted at the top, but one thing when you're painting muslin, a tip I use these paints from Michael's. They're just, craft paints. I think this was like 50 cents. Yeah, super cheap. I added a little bit of red to it, so it's not quite this pink, but that was the main color I used. And if you add water to your paint when you're making these little sculptures out of muslin, it can bleed, and that happened at the top. So what I ended up doing was just put a little bit of lace there, and it's fine. I also didn't initially paint her face. It has a coat of cream linen colored paint. Initially, I just put a design on the muslin bare, and my daughter splashed a little bit of water on it. After I took the picture on Instagram, it was all finished. The face was drawn on, and it got a little tiny splash of water, and it made the eye go bloop and just totally, I don't know if you can see it now. Hopefully I covered it. It made it completely bleed into the fabric. So the fabric needs to have a base for you to put the eyes and face on. And I did get a little bit of ink there, or something there, but I thought, well, it's a beauty mark. It's fine. So she turned out really sweet. I ended up not having any wool to use, so I bought this yarn from Michael's. I think it was $3 with my coupon. And I just stitched across a loop of yarn that I had made, and then I put little sari silk ribbons in there to give her ponytails. So I do my hair like this sometimes. I think it looks so cute. And the yarn just serendipitously matched perfectly with that dress, because I got the yarn after the dress. These are old buttons, and one thing I wanted to point out I think is so cool. I think these were from my grandma. She ripped all of these off of old clothes that had, been worn too much, and so there were bits of the shirt fabric under there, and it kept me from having to sew this on, because it's hard to sew through painted muslin. I glued them on, but I left those pieces of fabric and thread because there's something about the history of that makes me smile, that my grandma took the time to not waste anything, not even a button from probably 50 years ago. So those little bits of fabric make me smile because they were my grandma's. And then this stamp I did with the love, my ink pad was getting really dry, but I like it still. It's more subtle, and it is legible, so I loved it. I'd like to make more of these. I think it would be really fun to have one for each of my girls and do them in like a cream color and maybe a dark red with different hair. So I intend to keep doing these each year. They're just really fun. They do take some time. The initial sewing isn't too bad. I wish I had done a little bit straighter. I have a few spots where it's not quite perfect, but that's, the beauty of a handmade product. It's not perfect, but I really like the way they turned out. Thank you for letting me share. And then the next thing I did complete the February Joyful World SAL that I showed you last time. The fabric is on a 25 count, so it's a little bit, it doesn't fit quite as well as the 28 for some reason, but I went ahead and did ties this time because the distance was so great. I didn't want to have the hook and eye with that long hook, so I just thought, well, let's do some lace ribbon. Since my fabric is white this time, I thought that would be pretty. And those ducks are such a sweet design. The boy, of course, is the more bright colored, and then the girl is brown, but the hearts are in the leaves. There are some snowflakes on there that I almost did in like a taupe color, which I'm not sure I like that, but it's done. And then I did the color on the border and the writing. It was supposed to be brown, but I made it rose. And then I finally figured out a better way to put these bows on. I sewed this fabric that matches the inside of the drum cover, and I used a pin to really get it in there. So I'll just do that each time. I'll pin in a different bow, and then I'll pin it onto the previous one. So this is my third perpetual drum cover, and I've already started March. So I'm just really enjoying this display. The fact that it's done, all I have to do is just, put on a cover each month. It's fun. It's fun to do. I made the fabric green for March, so I'll show you that. And then I believe that's all I had to show you on previous finishes. Let me go ahead and get all my whips out. I just had 3 or 4, and I'll show you those before I show you my gift and haul. I realize this stack of whips has almost all of my own bags in the projects are in, so I was going to go ahead and show those as well because I haven't showed them in a long time. But this is a bag I made for my Hawkhorn Hollow. It's a little bit small, but it fits in there. And then the colors kind of reminded me the kind of rusty browns, and it has the Hawkhorn Hollow Village has a lot of like earth tony colors. I did want to show you this one. I'm substituting I think it's 3352, which I really need to go replace probably. There are so many spots in this sampler that use that green. Yeah, you can see there's hardly any left. 3363, sorry. But I want to, in each block, have something that's a little unique, so I put some Scarborough Fair, isn't that pretty, from Wicked Stepmother on the letter block. I didn't quite finish block 9. I worked on it, but I'm almost done. So I'm just going to keep showing progress where I am. I get stressed out if I don't finish goals, but I think it's still forward progress. And I've still done so much work on this. So here's my Hawk Run Hollow village. The block I'm working on, gosh, I can't even fit behind it, is here. And I didn't have any of this lettering last time. I didn't have any of the green filled in or the fountain. So I have more fill-in to do. It's pretty much a solid block there of green and different things. And of course, it's pretty complicated stitching. There's horses and all these little different things within the grass. So you have to do it all. I did those little people, and there's some kind of bug flying around. It's not a bee because it's like different colors, browns and blacks, but whatever bug that is flying around. And there's that A that is Scarborough Fair. See that pretty variegation there. I also changed the lettering to Lagoon by Jill Arts. That's one of my favorite colors. I used it all throughout the different blocks, so that's consistent. But the ones with the lettering do go a little bit quicker, but as you can see, there's still just thousands and thousands of stitches. So, the other thing I did is it is all gridded now. I would just do some mindless gridding while I think it's all done. Nope, I have a little bit more. It's almost all gridded. Again, hundreds and hundreds of stitches on the gridding, but that's all I have left. So I will show you that next month. I'm working on that the first 2 weeks. The first 5 days of the month. So I'll work on it again in March, but it's coming along so pretty, and I just try to keep mentally picturing that on my wall. So that's one way I'm moving forward. The other thing I worked on, it stays in this French General red bag. I wish that bag was a little bit bigger, but it's so pretty with this Louisa Coulamore by Hands Across the Sea. It's a Bristol orphanage sampler. And time was a little bit busy during this week. Part of the February week, we were, I think, right in the middle of being sick at this point. So I got a little bit of head cold, but Elijah was pretty sick. So here's the lipstick red that I used from Threadworks. And I did finish this top border. I hadn't made it all the way over. And then I did more letters. Let's see, I think I did like all these letters here and then a few letters here. So just a little bit more progress. You can see how wide it's going to be. And it's not fitting in photographs very well or on my lap. But that's on a 36 count linen. I'm using 1 strand over 2. And this linen is a little tricky. It's very nubby, and it does make it hard sometimes when I'm trying to get over a slub. I had a really bad slub in one of these letters where I was like, oh boy. Luckily it's not connected to other things, so it doesn't matter as much, but it's not my favorite linen to stitch on. I really love the color though, and it's showing really nice and true today in the light. So that is a favorite project, and I pull that out after Hawk Run each month until it's done. And then I got some work on Mary Needleworker. I had started this during the pandemic because I didn't get to go to a retreat and I was sad, but I have more needleworker pieces I want to do. So I was glad to get some work done on this. Here's the threads. I thought I had them all chosen. There's a lot of threads in this, but I keep changing my mind. One I used this time that I'll show you in a little bit I liked a lot was this DMC. Is it called Moulin? I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. 4140 is a really pretty variegated one I used for my thread spool. And then I'm still using this silver E415. I think it's called like a light effect or something. I've heard one friend call it the devil's hair. It is so hard to work with. I just put 1 strand of it with the gray and with a gray thread, and then I kind of blend it with this one. Everything else on this stitch is 1/2, but I put that silver metallic floss with another one because I'll show you when I first started using it. Here's where I am now. Made a little bit of progress on it. It was real bunchy there on the scissors, if you can tell. I mean, it is just a nightmare. I probably could do like 4 stitches at a time, and then I had to rethread my needle. So I was really frustrated with that, and it looks really bunchy, but I'm okay with it because it does look shiny. But I finished these scissors over here with the blending technique, and you do get some sparkle, but it's much easier. So I did have a few stitches to put on there, and then I basically just did, I didn't quite get my W done. I have Urker, needle Urker. I did those letters, and then I fill in each time I pull this out. I try to make it past those letters with the skirt, which again is hundreds and hundreds of stitches. I didn't quite make it, but I put in several rows, maybe 6 or 7. I also started on this flower, and I'm changing the colors to be just a little more antique. Stephanie's color schemes are usually a little bit more sherbety or more bright, and I like things kind of old-fashioned-y. So I changed that flower from gray and white and turquoise to kind of this plum and peachy color, and I thought that was pretty. And then I'm doing that, there's that mullein as a satin stitch on the floss. And I know it's a little early, I hope it doesn't get damaged, but it doesn't take, I think it took 3 threads to do that entire spool. So if it gets a little bit damaged, I can redo it pretty easily. So it's coming along. It's going to be bigger than I realized. I had this image in my head of it being kind of petite, you know, like maybe 8 by 10 or something, but it's going to be bigger. So I'm going to finish it on a board somehow in my needleworker collection. And it's an R&R fabric, 36 count linen. That was a gift. And it's going to be really tight to the borders, but that's okay. Like I said, I'm going to do it on a board and put it with my other needleworker that I have so far. And that one lives in another French General bag I made. I sold some of these. They were really fun. And then 2 more, I'll mention real quickly my Long Dog sampler. I did put 1 more woodpecker on that, but I've borrowed a lot of threads from my thread conversion that I was showing you. So I was having a hard time locating some key threads that were sort of dependent on me getting them in to be able to keep going. So I found one of them that I was missing. I'm still missing another, but I will put a picture in of where I am on that. And I will hopefully update you in March on how much I got done in February. Like I said, I'm still searching for threads. So several of you asked for the conversion, and I will share that when I find it. So, or when it's finished. It's still a work in progress. The other thing I worked on, and this is the last whip. No, well, there's a quick embroidery I can show you. But this Joyful World Salve for March, I had a lot of fun. I love to dye fabrics, and I had picked up some even weave at Hobby Lobby and done a dark green. So I think it's going to look really pretty to have this. I did this last night, just that border. Something about having the border done for me makes these so much quicker. I don't know why. There's some kind of mind block about that border because you have to count it carefully. Like last time I did it, I did 10, 20. I did the middle piece and then I did 10. And then I went all the way around and it was that short. And I was like, oh. So note to self, always make sure your border is done on both sides the same. Otherwise, you're going to be so mad. But that white bird, I think, will look really pretty on this green. And of course, it's going to be for March. I have some St. Patrick's Day stuff out, and I will just put it back on the drum. Oh, and on the drum, I did do a row of pom-pom trim. I had dyed this at the same time I did the linen, probably, so it matches perfectly. And it was so wonky with my stitching that really does help cover my imperfections. So I will put the green on here and put a different bow, and it's just a fun project. These are free on the Snowflower Diaries blog spot, and this was from several years ago, maybe 7 or 8 years ago, 6, 7 years ago that they did those. Some people did them all as one. I'm doing mine obviously individually. So, and those just stay in a plastic bag I got from a dollar store. But the last thing I wanted to show real quickly, Anna and I are working on our, I'll try to cover it because it's, well, I guess it doesn't matter. I'm going to show it to you when it's done anyway. But it's a cute little cat with a shamrock. And I got some wool. I'll show you that in a little bit. But those are all the pieces I've worked on so far this month. I haven't had as much stitching time as I wanted, but I'm trying to be consistent, trying to get on here each couple weeks so that I can keep you up to date and hopefully hold myself accountable. So thank you for letting me share all those works in progress. The next thing I had to show were some gifts and a beautiful stitch that was done for me. And I also wanted to share some of my market picks that's coming up in March in Nashville. I had maybe 5 or 6 pieces that were my favorites, and I'm just going to share those with you for fun. So let me get out that haul really quickly. Most of it was a gift, and then I'll show you my market picks. Okay, just a little bit of haul. Like I said, most of it was gifts, but I did pick up this pretty felt at Hobby Lobby yesterday, and it'll be used to back my March chalkboard. I think you can see it back there, that Anna and I are putting our Cat of the Month on. And I also picked up this little shamrock. I just thought it was cute. It's hard to find the St. Patrick's Day stuff that's not like bright and glittery. So I appreciated this from Hobby Lobby. It was just like $1.50. I got it yesterday. So if you're looking for a few little displays to go with your cross stitch, that's always nice. And then the gift that made me cry, I was so blown away. My friend, and I'm not going to mention her name because I didn't ask, but she's lives near my church. And so we've been exchanging patterns for couple years now, and I let her borrow one for a long time. I wasn't looking for it. I wasn't missing it, but she brought it back, and she brought me this giant dealer bag full of stuff from her craft room. It was like Christmas, y'all. I was just like blown away, but then I found this wrapped inside, and I thought it was so sweet. I love purple. It goes in my bedroom, and it reminds me of my mom, so she put my initials on there. I'm sure this is a blackbird design. I don't know which one, but her stitches are just beautiful, and it was so sweet. Those kind of things almost always make me cry because I know the time that went into that and the effort, and it's just, I feel so undeserving of such a kindness. But that was really fun. And then I was going to show you a few of the things out of that giant bag that were just absolute favorites, some that I'm going to be stitching in the next couple of weeks. So this kind of goes into plans as well, because I've wanted to do this one for quite some time, and I hope to start it in the next couple weeks. This is Tiny Town Blooming. I love these colors. I have quite a few of Frankie's Wicked Stepmother corals and peaches, so I think I can make a nice conversion there, but I just think those are so cute. I'll probably do it as a drum. I'm running out of space for horizontal pieces and room to put them, so I'll probably just do a drum, and it'll not take up a lot of space, but it's so cute. So looking forward to starting that soon. I also got this beautiful Lizzie Kate inspiration boxer where it says, "Faith is being sure of what we hope for and certain of what we do not see." Oh, that's so much glare, but you've probably seen this one before. I have a couple of these, I think from that same friend, and different friends have sent several. So I want to do some of those Lizzie Kate ones. They're so quick, and I really like her style. I also got this little Halloween town. I'm not going to do that one real soon, but I want to do that this year. So the ones coming out at market are super cute as well, but I probably won't have time to fit those in. Another one I like are these little chalk ones. I'd like to maybe do that. We like to go camping sometimes in the summer. And then these Primrose Cottages. I only have one pattern from them, so I was really happy to have these PDFs that she had. That little bee house, I love the colors on these. I think they're so perfect for my space, for my color scheme and my bee collection. So I love that one as well. And then a couple of housewives. There's some of those rounds. I probably won't do it on the striped fabric. I think that's kind of hard to read, but those are really sweet for like a patriotic tree or my metal tree. And there's two of those. So I will probably not share the PDFs, but I definitely will share the Tiny Towns when I'm done with them. And also, oh, this one is nice because it's a very old 1986 book number 13 on cardstock. So that's what I had loaned her, and she gave me this one. I really like the March one. I might try to get that one done. I'm not going to do all of those as a 12, but they'll be cute. They would be cute to stick into like some, I love the watermelon, kind of stick into some dough bowls. And I don't think they're very big. They're 45 by 45. So yeah, that's a really great size. So just some fun prairie schooler stuff. There's a Barbara Anna that's really pretty too. That Christmas one, I like the little people on the edges. I'm not sure I'll do that anytime soon, but I have a Barbara Anna collection that I'm happy to add to. And then there's some linens. I was gonna share this one because this color wouldn't work in my space, but I dye linen all the time. So what I plan to do is, there's a video on my channel if you want to look how I do that. It's called Too Bright Ginger, Ice Ginger or something. It's a Lakeside. It's a Lakeside linen that was gifted to me, and it was about this bright. And I turned, or it was peachy orange though, and I turned it into something really prim. And I can do this pretty easily with this yellow linen as well. And I hope to do a Kathy Barrick piece on that probably. I also got some greens that I really like, and I had these notes to this, like this cool Ada I think would be so cute for Midnight Watch by Blackbird Designs. I think this would be a perfect fabric for that. So I kind of earmarked it to remind myself, what was I going to do with this? And then I have some samplers for my bedroom that I got off Etsy that I think would be so pretty on here, even maybe an Adam and Eve. And then this one is just a big giant piece of Ada, probably about a yard. And I was either going to do Lizzie Kate Jingles, which is her Christmas piece. I switched that with my friend Helen D. Or there's a gingerbread or a Christmas village kind of piece that I got from Etsy. My friend Tina just finished it and it would look really pretty on here too. So definitely a Christmas one on this. But I was just so happy to have those linens. I don't usually buy myself linen, so I've had so many that are shared from people that don't have time to stitch what they have, and I will also try to pass those on to y'all. Like I said, I have so many. There's more charts in here than I'm even showing, but I do intend to do a big giveaway when I get to 8,000 subscribers. I'm pretty close, maybe a couple hundred away. So if you're watching and you tune in regularly but haven't subscribed, I'd really appreciate it if you would hit that button. It helps my channel and just encourages me. And then I was going to show in a kind of slideshow coming up the pics that I have from Market. And I'll try to remember before you see the pictures, because I'm not going to do a voiceover or anything, but I know there's an Adam and Eve in there that's really special. It's done on like a purpley colored linen, which I have a color similar to that in a wine color, and I really like that piece. I also really like Kathy Barrick's cookie cutter pieces that are like her other designs but smaller, which is very appealing, because as I'm doing her Hawkern Hollow, I'm going to be a little more reticent to start a piece from Kathy Barrick again. It's just so much stitching. But these little cookie cutters are just adorable and very kind of primitive style. I also love Stacey Nash's crackers that she came out with. I'm working on a hen right now, so I can't start another, but I really love the squirrel that I will show you. And then there's some bunnies that are just, oh my gosh, they're so cute. Eventually I'll try to do those, but I'm not going to start one until I finish my hen. And the other things on there, I can't remember all of them, but they're just maybe 4 or 5 that I just thought were really pretty. So I hope you have fun with your Market stitching, anything that you like, and just let me know what your favorites are down below. I also wanted to share plans ahead. I am entering in my second half of the month with the kind of rotation that I've started, and so I'm going to have a couple of Brenda Gervais pieces that I work on. I showed you last time, but you'll see them again next video. My Heart and Hand sampler that I'm loving, and then also my Fracture Bird, which is a lot of fun. At the same time, next time we'll probably pull out my old Brenda Gervais finishes. I think I have 3, maybe 4, and also some favorite charts. So we're kind of going to talk about Brenda Gervais next time. Other people have been doing that, and I always enjoy seeing some of her old charts. I have an out of print one that's really fun, and then just some of her older things. So I'll share those next time, and I thank you for letting me spend time with you this morning or this afternoon whenever you watch. I appreciate your support and your encouragement. Every time I film, I just feel so good about all the sweet things that are said. Sometimes my family is like, oh yeah, that's nice, Mom, whatever. And you guys just are so kind to keep me going. I feel so what's the word? Fulfilled, I guess, when I'm creative. I feel so in my element when I'm dyeing fabric and stitching and playing with ribbons and bows and all those fun things. So thanks for your time. I hope you're well, and I hope to talk with you soon. Take care. Oh, I almost forgot. As I say at the end of all my videos, in the book of Psalms, chapter 90, verse 17, it says, "May the favor of the Lord our God be upon us and establish the work of our hands." Be well.